I'm seriously attracted to the stuff in your trailer.
How do you make money for nothing?
Is it a trampoline or a bed?
Well, if it gets out, we can have a jump on it.
The answer could be hiding in the 30 million tonnes of household waste we throw out every year.
They are ready to be re-loved again, don't you think?
That's why entrepreneur Sarah Moore wants to get her hands on things before they hit the skip.
Wow, what a retro-looking thing. I love old stuff. Finding it, buying it and reusing it. And I've turned that passion into a business, transforming items that nobody wants into things that I can sell for a profit.
And with some of the country's elite designers and makers...
Oh, what have you got? They are a bit weird, aren't they?
I love them.
She can transform her finds into desirable...
It's giving me goosebumps. I think it's lovely.
Valuable...
Ooh, wow, they look amazing.
And hopefully saleable items.
You have done all the right things to that.
If Sarah is successful, then she can hand the profits back to the very people who had no idea there was cash to be made from their trash.
£370? That's amazing.
The helpful high-vis staff at the Keynsham Recycling Centre in Somerset are welcoming in locals who are ridding themselves of their unwanted wares. And tirelessly searching amongst the cast-offs is expert upcycler Sarah Moore.
Go on, make my day. What have you got?
She's here to find 3 hidden gems that have the potential to be loved once more.
Well, after all my time at the recycling centre, I have definitely learned to expect the unexpected. I'm on a mission, though, to make sure nothing I love ends up in a skip. If it does, I'll be really disappointed.
Sarah has special permission to peek in the boots.
Good luck with your task.
But the minute it hits the skip, it's off limits. Sarah, did you hear a word of what I just said?
Sorry. Too late for that lot. Sure something nice will turn up, though.
Barry has popped open his boot, but will his rubbish be what Sarah's looking for?
Hiya. Hello there.
Sarah.
Hi. Hi, I'm Sarah.
Pleased to meet you.
Do I spy floorboards? So they're yours?
I just dumped there, yeah, I'm just going to dump these for my next door neighbour's flooring. They've had all new flooring put down, so I said I would remove this for him, like, you know.
So you're being neighbourly?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And how old is the house they've come out of?
Oh, about 1890.
Lovely. And you say the house is that age, they may be original because they've got that kind of two-tone paint I can see on a few of them where they painted around the edge of a big rug.
Yeah.
And they look, have they got a touch of woodworm?
Yeah, they've got a bit touch of that in there, yes.
Well, if they're that old, then I think everybody deserves a touch of woodworm at that age.
Yeah.
I can see it looks nice and solid on the end on a few of them.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make some new furniture or something out of them.
If you could do some, maybe well, good, like, you know.
Can I keep in touch and show you what I create?
Yeah, OK then.
Lovely, excellent. So nice to see you, Barry. And
yeah, well done, well done.
I'll just go and grab a trolley, but nice to see you.
OK, thank you very much.
Take care, bye-bye.
No problem.
Sarah's wheeling off a load of old floorboards. Any idea what she'll do with them, Barry?
I certainly couldn't think of anything to make out of what somebody would consider junk or throwaway, like, you know.
Fair enough, Barry. Sarah?
A wheelbarrow full of old floorboards? Yes, please. I like the patina. I'm overlooking the woodworm, but a bundle like this of raw material, there's got to be something to be made out of that. I'm hoping it's money.
But who is Sarah entrusting to realise the potential of this pile of planks? It's Chris Mutter, a woodworking wonder with the skills to transform even the most tired timber. Chris thrives on rescuing and reviving reclaimed materials and turning them into sustainable showstoppers.
I think to do what I do, it has to be an obsession, or you wouldn't do it. Because it's so much work. Just having to work with what you've got, and that obviously dictates the final design. For me to make something from nothing and give it to someone and then just being overjoyed by it and not realising where it came from, it gives me satisfaction, and I just want to show everybody what we can do with rubbish wood.
But will Chris still have a can-do attitude when he sees this load of timber? With one item spared from the crusher, Sarah's on the hunt for 2 more. Although watching people struggle with garden waste doesn't usually yield results.
Keep going, you're nearly there. Well done for not getting the bag in.
Right, got it.
Henry's unloading, but will his cast-offs be to Sarah's liking?
Hello there.
Hi,
Hi, how do you do? I'm Sarah.
I'm Henry.
Henry, what a sweet dressing table. Have you had it a very long time?
It's older than I am, so 50-something years. It was my mum's, so we're clearing the house at the moment, and sadly, no use for it, so we've ended up here.
So do you remember growing up with it?
Yes.
Do you remember sitting at it a lot?
Oh, yeah, all the time when I was a kid. It's just something that nowadays people don't want. Certainly not the kidney-shaped ones now.
No, so have you actually, I can see other bits, have you actually got all the bits that go with it?
All the bits, yeah. There's a glass top which covers the material, and then the mirrors at the back with the 2 swingy side ones.
I'm not sure the shape of it helps it because it's not very commercial, but if you don't mind what happens to it, I'm sure there's something that can be done to be getting it, you know, back in somebody's house and being useful again, if that's something you'd like.
I'm sure Mum would love that too.
Lovely, well, so nice to meet you. I'm going to take that away and keep in touch if that's OK.
Wonderful, and you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Sarah saved a much-loved dressing table. Henry, are you relieved it's avoided the skip?
I would far rather it goes to Sarah and gets reused than just ends up in a landfill. So yeah, I'm really pleased, really pleased.
I can smell the perfumes with squirty bottles, all perfect for a dressing table like this. But this is a difficult piece of furniture to have in your house at the moment. I think it needs repurposing, revitalising and hopefully finding a new home.
But which maker can hopefully refashion this dressing table into something fabulous? It's Zoe Murphy, an acclaimed furniture and textiles designer. Zoe can brighten up old and forgotten furniture with printed patterns so colourful they would make a rainbow blush.
So I'm a printed textile designer. That means I love printing onto things. And if anything sits still for long enough in my studio, it's probably going to have a print on it. I really love colour. I use a lot of colour. Honestly, I think it's my favourite thing. People are always really shocked, but in quite a kind of happy and nicely surprised way. It always makes me feel really good about doing my job.
Well, Zoe, it might be you that's in for a shock when you see what Sarah's sending your way. With 2 items set aside, Sarah's back on the hunt for one more thing she can work on herself.
Going anywhere nice on your holidays?
Might take a trip to Torquay.
I think not with that.
I've got my own suitcase, thanks. It's got wheels and everything. Bob's arrived, but will Sarah stop any of his rubbish from taking a one-way trip to the skip?
Hi there. Oh, hello. Oh, they look interesting.
Hi.
Hi, I was just looking at your pots there. How do you do? I'm Sarah.
Hi, Bob. Hi.
Bob, have you had them long?
No, we bought a house and there were hundreds of them in the cellar.
Really?
Yes, this is just a selection of them.
Are they broken or are they whole?
No, they're pretty much all in one piece. The smaller ones, I think one of the bigger ones might have a crack in it, but the small ones are fine.
Do you do loads of gardening?
Yeah, not really. I like a nice garden, but I'm not a good gardener.
It looks like somebody has been collecting them for a while because these bigger hand-thrown ones are sort of 100 years old.
Really?
So to find them at the recycling centre is really
right,
nice.
cool.
Could I take them away and do something with them?
I'd rather something happen to them, yeah.
Perhaps I can come and show you how they end up.
That'd be nice. OK.
Lovely.
Cracking.
I'm really excited for those. Thank you so much. I'll
Yeah,
grab
you're
those and keep in contact.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Sarah's got her green fingers on a collection of vintage plant pots.
Aren't they cute?
Surprised she's taken them on, Bob?
It's great they're going to get used. It's only going to chuck them away, but I'm amazed that anybody's interested in what really I thought was a load of old rubbish.
Well, I was never going to let a beautiful hand-thrown Victorian flower pot end up in the skip, was I? And I love all its little friends. There are some really charming pots in here. They're cute, they're nostalgic, and they're definitely something that I'd like to have a really good go at making into something lovely again. I think I better start with a bit of tidying up, though. There's snails in here.
And with that, Sarah's search is complete. Zoe's challenge is to put an on-trend spin on the dated dressing table. Chris needs to find a creative new use for the ancient floorboards. And Sarah has a collection of plant pots to repurpose. But will her efforts produce a tidy profit?
Well, I said there'd be rich pickings at the recycling centre today, and I was right. I've taken away 3 things that I think have got great potential, and I reckon I've picked some winners.
In Margate, Zoe has taken delivery of the kidney-shaped dressing table and is giving it the once-over.
It's very low and small, and I think there's quite a lot of work to be done to make this as glamorous as it could be.
Sarah's on her way to talk through some ideas on how to spruce this little number up.
Kidney-shaped dressing tables are not in the top 10 of desirable pieces of furniture, so I'm really hoping Zoe and I can hatch a plan to put it right up there, centre stage. Zoe? Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm well. How are you feeling about the kidney?
Well, you know, if it's here, there's something we can do to make it look really great. And the glass on top, it's got some chipping going on. I don't know if I'll be able to save that, which is a shame.
That's a bit disappointing, isn't it? And there's mirrors as well that I think should go with it properly, but with all the materials and the sort of styles that are going on. And I was wondering whether we should try and make the most of it by sort of cutting it up.
Yeah, I think that's what I thought as well. The shape itself on the top is actually quite interesting. It might be nice to sort of detach it from these little drawers underneath, put some new legs on it, and then once we've got those little units away from the top, turning them into some bedside tables maybe?
I think that sounds amazing. So basically you could create almost a suite of bedroom furniture out of that one piece, couldn't you?
These though, I'm not sure. Don't know about these. They might still go on the dressing table. They might live independently.
So can you give me any idea about budget? What do you think it'll be?
The top part, that's going to be about £400 to make a new dressing table or desk. And then it'll be another £400 to give you a new pair of bedside tables to go along with it.
I think my initial thoughts are that that's an awful lot of money to spend on that particular piece of furniture. But from the way you've described it and what you're going to do to it, I can't think that charging any less is going to work either. So I think just go for it. I think it'll be an exciting exercise for both of us.
I think we'll have to make sure it's really amazing.
Yeah, I hope it goes really well. So nice to see you. Bye.
Bye, Sarah. See you later. Oh, I'm a bit nervous about how this is going to go. I have no idea what the next sort of week of work is going to look like on this thing. But I think it'll be interesting and quite exciting, and we'll have to see what happens.
Zoe has a big budget of £800 to turn the kidney-shaped table into a pair of bedside units and a desk. But will her plan to divide and conquer be the way to update the dated dresser? Just outside Glasgow, Chris has taken delivery of the old floorboards. And if you couldn't tell from the masses of wood behind him, he's a real connoisseur of old planks. So, how does Sarah's finds stack up?
It's definitely seen better days. They're flat, which is great. It's something I can definitely work with. I've got ideas running through my head as we speak, and I'm just looking forward to see what Sarah wants me to do with it.
Well, Chris, that'll be her calling now to hash out a plan.
Hi, Sarah.
Chris, how you doing?
I'm very well. Yourself?
I'm good, thanks. Has a big pile of wood arrived at your workshop yet?
I've got a massive pile of floorboards right in front of me.
And do you think it's good enough for you to work with? I think it's got some age to it.
There's definitely loads of material, and there's so many characteristics and colours and paint, so to me that's fantastic.
I was wondering if you could create a piece of furniture from it. I was thinking a table, but is there something you think could work with the amount that you've got there?
I'm thinking with the colours, the patinas, just something quite current, maybe a storage unit for vinyls.
Oh, I think that's a really good idea. People love somewhere to store and show off their record collection. I imagine that's going to take a heap of work, though, to get that pile into a record unit.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's the work involved to get the material from these woods. There's a lot of damage, but visually it will pay off.
Okay, well, speaking of paying off, how much do you think I'll need to leave with you?
If we try and use all the material, I could probably make something for 450.
Well, if you can make a stylish cabinet for that, then I'm happy to go ahead if you are.
Yeah, I'm more than happy. I think it'll be great. I look forward to seeing the final result.
Oh, excellent. So do I. Just let me know when it's ready, and I'll come and pick it up.
OK, fantastic. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I've just off the phone from Sarah. She loves the ideas, and it's going to be a lot of work, but I just can't wait to get started.
Chris has a budget of £450 to create a contemporary record cabinet from the old floorboards. It's an ambitious remix, but will it hit the right note? In Sussex, Sarah's about to get to work on the vintage plant pots. But is she armed with a plan of how best to reuse them?
I think they're lovely things and they're getting rarer and more expensive to buy. So I've got quite a few here, and I thought rather than planting them up in a traditional way, I would actually try and make something to go inside them. And I have seen recently some amazing paper sculpture with people creating plants out of paper and wire that look really authentic. And I think you have to be an expert to make them really well, but I'd love to put my take on it and see if I can create something similar to fill a few of the best of these pots.
These pots are terracotta, which means baked earth in Italian.
Very porous, so I need plenty of glue. I'm going to pop that in and then I'm going to wire it round the top.
It's perhaps best known for the making of the Terracotta Army, which features over 8,000 sculptures of soldiers inside the first Emperor of China's tomb.
Hoping the wire will just clamp that piece in place until it has dried.
Sarah's using air-drying modelling clay to try to fill the cracks in the pot.
That one was the easy one. This one, I haven't got the bit. I'm going to have to make that because that is a great pot. Quite difficult to get the profile and the look exactly right, but I think I can probably disguise it a bit more later with some paint if I need to.
With the pots sorted, Sarah now has to decide what to put in them.
It'd be good to be able to copy something that I can actually see, so I'm going to try and make some geraniums. They look great in terracotta pots.
Craft flower making has long been a popular pastime. One of the most famous artists to create paper flowers was Mary Delaney, who, in the 18th century, created nearly 1,000 individual floral works of art.
I think there might be a better way. So I think I'm going to try cutting one out and making a stencil and then get a proper production line going.
Mary Delaney certainly didn't use spray paint, probably because it wasn't invented. But this is Sarah's way of speeding up the production of her leaves.
So they look a bit like lily pads at the moment, but I'm hoping once I've cut them out, I can crisp up the edges and give them some sculptural shape, and they'll look a bit more geranium.
Sarah wants her paper geraniums to look as lifelike as possible. And to create the stems, she's wrapping florist wire in green tape.
So, leaves are looking okay. Got to make the flowers next. This is crepe paper, and I'm going to attempt to make some flower petals out of it. I'm just going to pinch those together and twist.
Sarah has 5 petals to carefully hand make for each geranium, and with all those pots to fill, well, she'll be here all day.
Is that right? I'm not overly patient and I'm not really good at fiddly stuff, so making one of these I think is going to be a challenge for me.
So far, Sarah spent £34 on modelling clay, paint and paper. The pots are still a long way from blooming, so will her faux flowers be pretty enough to pull in a profit? In Margate, Zoe's ahead of the game. She's already taken off the top of the old dressing table that she's going to try and make 3 items of furniture from.
I've made a head start on the dressing table by sending the lid away to get some real wood veneers applied to the top. It's looking great. And then I've also got some extra pieces that I've brought back that are going to act as the new tops and lids for the bedside tables. So I'm all good to go with my materials. I just need to split the unit now.
In order to make the bedside tables, the pair of drawers that have been together for 50 years are heading for divorce.
There's no going back now.
Zoe is attempting to remove the bridging wood in the middle without damaging the drawers.
It's often terrifying how severe you've got to be to dismantle furniture, just to build it again. Let's see if that's gonna... Whee! Oh, cool.
Zoe means business as the hair goes up.
Yeah, this is like, I don't want to rip my hair out.
No, Zoe, you need to keep your hair on.
You can kind of see the little unit starting to appear. I've got to try and encourage this off. So I'm going to take these sections off. I just need to make sure that it's all as straight as possible.
With the units finally separated, Zoe's removing the top sections to create a more compact shape.
I feel like we might be near... Oh! Okay. Now, the last little bits to do before I can print on it are just to add little inserts. Oh, that looks so different. I love it.
Zoe's plan is to screen print a custom pattern onto the small tables and the old top, which is going to become a desk, complete with new legs. Made from the world's biggest loo roll.
Yeah, it is a bit of a strange idea, and I mean, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to sort of reinforce it with some strips of wood, and I think it could turn out to be really decorative and very cool.
As long as you're sure, Zoe. Next, she's cutting out wooden strips that will clad the tubular legs. It might be made of cardboard, but cylindrical designs are surprisingly strong, as the arc evenly distributes weight.
That looks straight.
Stability shouldn't be an issue, but Zoe needs to ensure her design is attractive enough to entice a buyer.
Like a kind of profiled column.
So she's adding some screen printing into the mix.
I'm going to print this shape in white using my silk screen. Okay, so my plan is to cover this in pattern, leaving just a little bit of wood exposed. So I better get looking through my screens and see what other stuff I want to print.
Zoe's throwing print, pattern and texture at this project. Sarah has a big budget riding on this one, but will it be money down the tube? Just outside Glasgow, Chris is getting to work on the old floorboards that he's going to try and turn into a record cabinet.
It's a tough one.
First, he's removing any nails and is trying to determine how much usable material he has.
There's a lot of damage to these boards, so I'm going to have to discard some of the boards. Just checking for unique things I look for. You know, it's paint to add to the patinas to give it its own new character.
At least some of the bits are making Chris's good pile.
This is my favourite so far, a belter.
But can Chris come up with a belter of a design for the cabinet?
So it's just a simple vinyl cabinet, 2 doors, cupboard, maybe put a chevron on the doors and a carcass around it, so it's definitely something we can do for these floorboards.
To make the cross-hatched chevron design, Chris needs to turn the wide floorboards into smaller strips before reassembling them. First, he's planing the backs and sides of the boards, but is leaving the aged patina on the top on show to preserve its character.
This is the trouble with working with reclaimed wood. So we'll rescue the good wood and discard all the rubbish. So there's some good wood that we can always use and rescue and bring back to life.
Some sections of the boards are infested with woodworm, so Chris is carefully slicing off the pieces he won't be able to reuse.
So it's coming together now, so I'm getting an idea of what the final product's going to look like. So from here, we cut out our panel. This is the bit where you get the joy from receiving the woodworm wood to seeing the final product and what it can look like. So it's a long process and it gives you a unique finish that you can't create anywhere else. But as you can see, it's pretty awesome.
Chris's cabinet will be made up of 10 individual panels, with each panel made from around a dozen strips of wood. He's securing the planks in place with a strong adhesive that he's generously applying with a toothbrush.
They're like pads that a lot of woodworkers use. And I was like, I need to get one of those pads. I'm going to look an idiot using a toothbrush. And I thought, no, the whole premise of what I do is recycling.
Just don't get them mixed up at home, eh, Chris?
I'm just loving these bits of paint as well, and just all of it combined. When you see the finished unit, it'll be a wow factor from what it began with.
Let's hope so. Each panel will have a unique zigzag chevron pattern, and Chris is cutting out the sections that will be joined together to form the top of his record cabinet.
So the next stage is to match up the chevrons and cutting them to size at the same time. So it's one big jigsaw puzzle. You have a picture in your head what you want it to look like, but you don't actually know what it's going to be like in the end. We're trying to match up so it flows, which is sometimes quite difficult to do.
Chris has a puzzle on his hands, all right, but can he solve it and deliver the stylish cabinet Sarah's expecting? In Sussex, Sarah has potted up her final paper geranium, but do they look the real deal?
I've got even more respect for Mother Nature now. It's not easy making beautiful plants.
The old terracotta pots had been abandoned and were never going to display any greenery again, but Sarah took them on, and now they've been given flower power once more. Sarah repaired the crumbling vintage pots, which now display her handmade geranium creations. She's crafted delicate faux flowers with painted carved leaves, florist-wired stems and crepe paper petals, in the hopes of creating lifelike blooms to brighten up any home. But with 11 to sell, has she done enough to pull in a profit?
Well, I always love an old pot, and these have actually mended really well. So all the ones you see here are now sound and the perfect pedestal for my project. I'm super pleased with this lot. I won't be making any more in a hurry though, because these have taken ages.
When Sarah spotted Bob throwing out the pots, she had to know more.
Have you had them long?
No, we bought a house and there were hundreds of them in the cellar.
Do you do loads of gardening?
Yeah, not really. I like a nice garden, but I'm not a good gardener.
The plant pots were surplus to requirements, but Sarah had to save them.
Could I take them away and do something with them?
I'd rather something happen to them, yeah.
Excellent, great. Well, I'll keep in touch.
Much to Bob's surprise.
I'm amazed that anybody's interested in what really I thought was a load of old rubbish.
Well, Bob, let's hope you're impressed with their new look. Sarah advertised the pots for sale online, and some were sold to a boutique holiday cottage in Norfolk. Owner Anna thinks they fit right in.
I love the geraniums because it's such a colourful item and they look really like real geraniums, and they will add such a splash of colour to our interiors.
But did Sarah manage to sell the rest? Sarah's in Salford to show Bob what's happened to his old pots, but will she be handing over a profit?
Hello, Bob.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. You?
Yeah, very well, very well. Well, the pots caught my eye. I have to confess that I'm a bit of a plant pot fan. When I thought there's no way those are going to hit the skip because they just look so retro and nostalgic to me. So I tried my hand at making some everlasting flowers.
Wow.
And they look like this.
Oh, that's really colourful. I love that. I never thought that. That's really impressive.
I did mend some of the pots that were cracked and patched them up with some modelling clay.
Yeah.
What do you think
clever.
of them?
I think they're fantastic. Yeah, from the picture, you wouldn't know that they were not real.
They are a labour of love. But I'm pleased to say that the work has paid off, and I've got £422 for you as well.
You're joking?
No.
I would have thought maybe £4. That is truly incredible.
So I'm going to put you on the spot and say, what are you going to do with it?
We've got a community association in the village, and they do like loads of good work with, meals for older people and coffee mornings, that kind of stuff. I thought I'd donate the windfall to them.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I hope that makes a difference. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. I just can't get over this. It's incredible.
Excellent. Well, so nice to see you again.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thanks ever so much. Yeah, thanks.
Good to catch up.
Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Sarah spent £34 on materials to repair the pots and make her paper plants. They sold for a total of £456, meaning Bob has £422 of profit to benefit his local community. Lovely. Her plant pot project was a success, so Sarah's in Margate to see if Zoe has managed to turn the dressing table into 3 pieces of furniture.
I'm super looking forward to seeing what Sarah thinks about this set. It's a bit of a departure for me. I haven't used any colour in one of the pieces, so I'm keen to see what she thinks, and I hope I impress her with some of the new skills that I've been employing to make them.
Well, we all know the story about the ugly duckling that turns into the beautiful swan, and I'm really hoping that that is the case for my dressing table. The only problem is, that's a fairy tale, and this is strictly business.
When Sarah found it, the dressing table had fallen out of fashion. But Zoe got to work and has completely reimagined it as a bold suite of bedroom furniture. The original kidney-shaped top is now the surface of the unique vanity desk, with Zoe's screen-printed pattern adorning the freshly veneered wood and one of the original mirrors. The top is supported by oversized column legs, which Zoe's painted white to contrast against the dark wood. The former drawer legs are now 2 colourful side tables, with matching veneered wood, new handles and screen-printed drawer fronts. Zoe set out to really raise the style stakes, but what will Sarah think?
Zoe, hi.
Hi!
Oh, I can't believe it. I don't know where to look.
What do you think?
Looks fantastic. I really like those columns. I would never have thought about doing anything like that myself. And a really interesting shape.
Yeah, initially I didn't even think I'd use the mirror, but this kind of simple shape felt quite easy to reuse.
It's a really striking piece of furniture. But these two down here, completely different in terms of fun factor, and wow, they are absolutely beautiful individual pieces created from something that was just hidden under a skirt. So I'm really, really pleased. Mustn't forget to talk about the money. How's the cash?
I'm happy to stick to the budget that I said initially, which was £800 altogether.
Yeah, I think if uniqueness created sales, I'm rich here already. I think what you've done is really beautiful, and your time and effort is much appreciated. They are absolutely unique in the best possible way, so they're brilliant. Thank you.
Oh, I'm really pleased you like them.
Thanks, Zoe.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I really like how they've turned out, and more than anything, I got to do loads of experimenting on these, so I'm really pleased.
When Sarah spotted Henry unloading, she wanted to get a closer look.
What a sweet dressing table. Have you had it a very long time?
50-something years. It was my mum's.
Do you remember her sitting at it a lot?
All the time when I was a kid. It's just something that nowadays people don't want.
Sarah saw its potential and Henry was hopeful it could be transformed.
I would far rather it goes to Sarah and gets reused. So yeah, I'm really pleased, really pleased.
It certainly will be reused, Henry, as it's now 3 pieces of furniture. And after being advertised, the dressing table was sold to a hotel in Norfolk. Operations manager Hannah loves it.
It's just really classy. It's very quirky, but it sort of jumps lots of different generations and tastes, actually. So I think this is going to go down a storm.
But did Sarah sell the bedside tables too? She's in Chippenham to show Henry the results. But will she be passing on a profit?
Hello, Henry.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
So nice to see you again. And I said if there was something to be done with that old dressing table, I'd come and find you. So
You did.
Here I am. It was such a lovely, nostalgic piece of furniture and something your mum had clearly looked after and had for a very long time.
For as long as I can remember. So, yeah.
It was something that a lovely maker called Zoe has worked on. I'm not quite sure what you're expecting, but brace yourself, because it now looks like this.
Wow.
She has taken the legs off and given it a new look, but the legs haven't gone to waste. She's created a pair of bedside cabinets out of them.
That is stunning. Absolutely stunning.
What do you think your mum would think of all of it?
She'd be amazed. Absolutely amazed. So, yeah, that was brilliant.
Oh, fantastic.
Very impressed.
Oh, good. I'm pleased that you like it, and I'm really pleased to say that both the elements have found new homes. So I've got some money here for you as well. I have got £200 here.
Wow. No, honestly, I'm gobsmacked.
Have you got any ideas about what you might do with the money?
I'm going to speak to my sisters, and I think some of it will go to charity, and the rest of it might be a bottle of wine.
Well, I hope you have a lovely time celebrating. Great to nod to charity as well is a lovely thing to do.
That's brilliant.
So good to see you, Henry. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Nice to
Bye-bye.
see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Zoe produced a trio of items for £800. They sold for a total of £1,000, meaning Henry has £200 profit to put towards a donation to charity and a nice bottle of wine. Great. With 2 items given a successful new spin, Sarah's on her way to see if Chris has got a hit on his hands with the record cabinet made from the old floorboards.
So this unit was definitely a challenge to make with the material I was given, but just to see the final result, it definitely makes it worthwhile. And I think it looks fantastic.
Well, I know that Chris is well known for using reclaimed materials, but my floorboards were in a right old state, so I'm really hoping that he's managed to cut out the bad bits, reclaim the good bits, and make something lovely out of them.
When Sarah found them, the damaged floorboards were destined for the wood skip. But now, they're set for the dance floor as a custom-built record cabinet. Chris utilised the best of the worn wood to create a contemporary unit with open shelves, the perfect size to house your vinyl collection. He's painstakingly aligned the chevron patterns so the mix of grains runs seamlessly together. And all of the boards have been sanded back and waxed to really put the aged patina on show. The record cabinet is elevated by wooden legs, which have been cut from the floorboards, as Chris wanted to maximise every inch of the usable timber. It's certainly sustainable, but will Sarah think it's stylish?
Hiya.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh my goodness, that's what you call a record cabinet.
What do you think?
That's fantastic. I recognise most of the floorboards, but I didn't know there was so much colour in them. How have you managed that?
I added these floorboards. I had 2 floorboards with paint on them, so I added that just to give it a bit of a lift.
Lovely, and I like the detail you've got on it, the angles. And what's going on in the cupboard?
So the cupboard is for electrical goods or anything you want, really. It doesn't have to be a vinyl storage unit.
I think it's going to help it sell because you've made it so versatile, haven't you?
I did. It's a labour of love. It's not easy, but I enjoy it, and it's worth the time and effort.
But it obviously has been a huge amount of work, and it's bigger than I was expecting. But you put a budget on it originally of saying you'd hope to create something at £450.
It was a lot of time and effort, but we managed to squeeze it in the budget.
I'm really impressed, and especially with you sticking to budget when it's such a big piece of furniture.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. It's good.
Excellent. Well, I'll see what else I can find you, and I'll be back in touch and get that shipped off to wherever it ends up.
Glad you like it.
Yeah, you did well.
Great.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye. Sarah was really surprised with the outcome. She seemed really happy with it, which is great, and I'm really pleased she likes it.
When Sarah saw Barry at the recycling centre, she couldn't resist a peek in his boots.
Do I spy floorboards?
Stuff for my next door neighbour's flooring. They had all new flooring put down, so I said I would remove this for him, like, you know. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Maybe I can make some new furniture or something.
If you could do some very good, like, you know.
Sarah snapped up the worn wood, but Barry didn't have a clue what she'd do with it.
I certainly couldn't think of anything to make out of what somebody would consider junk or throwaway, like, you know.
Well, Barry, it's not throwaway now, that's for sure. And the record unit was soon sold to an interiors shop in Whitchurch. Co-owner Lucy thinks it's a hit.
The warmth and the tones of the herringbone on the sideboard table, it's amazing. You can see the craftsmanship and the love that's gone into making this piece.
Sarah's in Bath to show Barry what's happened to his neighbour's floorboards and to pass on the profit.
Oh, hello again.
Hello, how are you? Oh, good, all right.
How are you?
I'm fine, yeah.
Oh, you
Lovely.
You look in great spirits. You look like a man who helps his neighbours a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I did think the boards had definitely seen better days, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you thought that there was nothing that could be done with your old boards?
I didn't think so, no.
I actually have a little black book of names, and there is somebody in it who really stood out. He's called Chris. And he loves working with reclaimed materials and found wood, and so this is what he's been up to. He's turned it into a sideboard.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable that is, yeah.
So lots of the detail of the original wood are just the same.
Yeah.
But he's managed to create a really big sort of media unit.
Yeah,
and sideboard
fantastic.
What do you reckon?
I wondered what he was going to do. Yeah, it really had me baffled what he was going to do completely, you know.
Well, he's managed to generate you a profit as well.
Oh, OK.
I've got 90 quid here for you.
Oh, that's good. Thank you very much.
Oh, an absolute pleasure. What are you going to do with it then?
Oh, I should give it to cancer research. Both my dad and my brother both died of it, so that's what I would support, you know.
Oh, well, I think that's a very generous thing.
Yeah,
it's important to look after charities like that, especially when they help out with your family in times of need.
Right.
Thank you so much for letting me come and find you, and it's been so nice coming back to chat to you and to show you what we've been up to.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. OK, all the best. Bye.
Chris came in on budget at £450. The record cabinet was sold for £540. Giving Barry £90 of profit to donate to a cancer charity close to his heart. Sarah stopped 3 unwanted items from hitting the skip. With some creative repurposing, reimagining and repairing, things that were about to be lost forever will now live on in new homes.
Well, it did look like it was the end of the road for 3 things that I managed to save from the recycling centre, but actually it was just the beginning of a new chapter. Items have been repurposed, reloved and are off to new homes.